What's that?
Aloha, and how you doing? Gordo the Texar here. Welcome to Hibachi Talk. I'm here with my good old buddy Rick Trejo, a.k.a. Papi Chulo. How you doing, everybody? Nice to see you again. Andrew's off doing whatever he does when he goes. He's in Texas right now. Please grab yourself a chair, grab yourself a libation, come up and join us for 45 minutes. It's going to be, you got a little mini drink?
Hello.
Boy, you didn't realize your hands were so big. Anyway, so welcome to Hibachi Talk. This one is going to be silly. No, it shouldn't be silly. Anyway, we have a great guest today. We have McKay Davis, McKay probably, and we don't know each other that well, so McKay and I probably had the same problem growing up. His first name and last name was the same as mine. I'm Bruce Gordon, and he's McKay Davis or Davis McKay. It's going to be that thing. But anyway, McKay's going to come on. He's going to talk about Unconference. It's coming up. We have an Unconference coming up. It's the 9th one, and we're going to get into more detail on that because it's kind of cool. It's an event that started obviously 9 years ago. It's 8 or 9 years ago. And it really is a way to get applications developed for the citizens of Hawaii. So it's really kind of cool.
Unconference.
Unconference.
What the hell is unconference?
Well, you're used to being unconscious.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But, this is the 9th time, but I've been unconscious more than 9 times. What the hell, did I miss something?
Well, you were unconscious your first trip. Remember, for those of you who watch show number 54, you can follow the Rick Trejo story as he moves from Chicago to...
yeah. Well, wow. But cool. I'm waiting to hear this guy talk because I want to know what they talking about.
What's an Unconference? Yeah.
What the heck?
So how you been?
Hey, it was an awesome adventure last time. I enjoyed it. Everybody saw it. All my good friends saw it. I said good friends.
So that's 3.
Yeah.
And if you cut me out, to me.
But no, we had a good time. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed looking at myself. It was good.
Have you become a legend in your own mind?
And I'll drink to that.
So anyway, yeah, we had a great time. We ended up going to the basketball game too.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. You're the best friend.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
Well, that
my
was your
God.
commission check for this show.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. First game in Hawaii, 42 years. First game. I might have run for mayor because everybody and their uncle knew me. Hey, Rick, hey, how you doing? I said, I was running for office. I'm doing this.
Yeah, you were.
Everybody and their uncle was watching me, looking at me, and said, hey, long time no see, blah, blah, blah. I said, I felt so good.
Yeah,
Thank you for taking
No,
me.
it was so much fun. I was saying, I'm here with Mr. Aloha.
Yeah, my God. And I thought you were somebody.
Proved you wrong again. Anyway, it was great. It was a fun night.
It was a beautiful night.
We had a really good
damn
time.
night.
And the UH won.
The 7'6" guy, what? He wasn't even there.
Yeah, took a 7'6" guy and took him out. Right, that was awesome.
By Spud.
Yeah.
Spud took him out. The little guy in Hawaii, whatever his name was, but took him out.
Yeah, it was very cool. Yeah, well, they lost.
He'll be dangerous down the road, though.
Yeah, they lost last night.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was there last night. They were just not into it. They were just not. Oh, it was so sad. So
Beautiful
sad.
game, though.
Anyway, I got a little bit of news. We'll got some news. I want to get your commentary on the news because it's kind of interesting stuff. Since you're in the security business also, but we're keeping it. You're like the dark security guy, not a bad security guy, but what you do is like you've got to keep quiet, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what it is. So
not for public.
Not for public knowledge or viewing, whatever. Put your weapon away. Anyway, we were talking about Apple last week.
Wow.
I just told you to put your weapon away too, by the way. I just let that go. Thank you for not saying anything. I'm always afraid.
The right to carry.
I'm always afraid. Now, if you're out with us guys when we're in other locations, you have a tendency to say some things that might not be all that great on camera.
Right.
Or they could be great on camera, but then,
You don't want him to wet himself. On camera.
On camera.
That's why we have a table.
Anyway, Apple. We
Oh,
talked
my
about
God.
Apple last week,
Yeah,
right? And I want to get
wow.
your thoughts on this. So Apple have decided, they're still fighting that demand
Right.
for
Following that.
access to the iPhone and so they can get into it. So they're in the process now of writing code that will not allow that to happen. So then their approach, which I thought was kind of unique, is they're saying, okay, we're going to fight you on this one. While we're fighting you on this one, we're going to write code that will not allow us you to demand that we get you into the phone. So kind of a cool kind of thought, right? So
Right.
that's what they're doing right now. So my thought is, so what do you think about this? I never asked you last time. What do you think about this, the demand that's happening from the Apple side on getting into your phone and things like this?
Well, based on the security factor of all that, you and I, we talked about it shortly and said, you know what? If you're an American, you have the rights, you have your liberties, and all those good things that come with being an American. Yeah, it's a sketchy area. But if you're a foreigner and you're using Apple products and everything else, I don't think you're eligible for those rights and.
So let me throw this at you. So I'm a naturalized U.S. So I'm actually a foreigner who moved here and been in Hawaii and in the United States since '79. You were born and raised.
Right.
Right? Papi Chulo, born and raised. So should they have the ability to tap my phone since I wasn't born and raised? The president has to be born and raised.
Right, but that's another story. But I don't think so. But that's a rocky road, and I hear about Apple doing what they got to do, due diligence. But, you know, the FBI and the U.S. government being, oh, just one time. Yeah, right, just one time.
Right.
But if they can't even secure our own vital information on, and everybody's hacking everything, the military, the government, your payroll, your documents, if you can't even secure that.
Within the government. And the IRS just announced $700,000, 700,000 new hacks.
And then the DOD said that all the personnel are being whatever hacked, and we'll go ahead and spend millions of dollars to secure your federal, your financial, this and that and that and this. We can't depend on our government.
I know,
to take care of
that's
they let us down.
Yeah, the trust factor.
The trust, big capital T.
Yeah.
Starts with capital T.
Yeah, the trust factor is like, and for
Who
me,
do you trust?
For me, I don't have a problem with someone, commits a crime in the U.S. and then, or anywhere for that matter, but commits a crime, especially a high-end crime, that you have you got to find the information, because I don't want it happening again.
Nobody wants nobody wants that.
No.
And look at today, what happened today. Another
shooter today.
Just an active shooter. This copycats, everybody and their uncles doing this to get fame, whatever they're doing, but I don't get it. And then what are we gonna do? How many people have to die?
Yeah, and so, and I get beat up by a lot of people. I use the Singapore model as a lot, because I spent a fair bit of time in Singapore. And I tell you, you walk in there, immediately they're watching everything. Mm-hmm. There was no question about it. They're gonna watch it, they're gonna track everything you do and so on. But I tell you what, at 3 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the morning, you can walk down the street and feel pretty damn safe.
But don't think about spitting your gum out on the street.
Yeah, well, you can't have gum, so you got that.
Hello.
But there's certain,
or have anything illegal.
Yeah. And a beer is not cheap.
Right.
But you can still have a beer. And they got some of the nicest pubs along the shoreline. I saw heard the best jazz ever in my life in Singapore. Wow. And you gotta love this. A guy from Chicago, your hometown, a guy from Hawaii, and a guy from Texas. Wow. And they were excellent, just excellent. It was just like, wow. Cool. And I listened to them till 2 o'clock in the morning. Had a few libations and walked my way back to the hotel, and it was wonderful.
Walk?
I walked. Well, it took me longer than I should have. But anyway, anyway, so that was one of my news segments. So and then we're talking about hacking. So the Nissan Leaf.
Oh, I heard it. You just mentioned it.
Yeah, Nissan Leaf. Now you're driving you're a high mucka mucka guy. You're driving a Mercedes. So you're one of these guys that drives around town. You're a big high mucka mucka Mercedes. And all
there you go, putting me in a.
Anyway, hey. What can I say? You're not on the. Oh wait, I almost said something I shouldn't have. I was gonna say you're not on the corner of the street selling flowers.
Oranges,
or whatever it was.
Oh, wipe your windows.
People have to realize that you and I go back so far, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, so Nissan Leaf, their security flaw, you can hack their car. Hack the Nissan Leaf car through one of their mobile apps, and you can turn on the fans, you can turn on the electric motor, you can run the battery down and everything. So that came out, and so as of just today, Nissan announced that they've taken the app offline. Now they can't drive the car, but they've taken the app offline. So
Michael, who the hell drives a Nissan Leaf? If it's a Tesla or something like that, who cares?
My brother-in-law drives a Nissan Leaf, just for the record. So,
well, rest in peace. If you ever see me in a
Nissan Leaf,
hey, unless you're gonna give me one for free,
yeah,
I'll drive one.
You'll drive one, right? You sound very prejudiced there.
I had a Datsun, a Nissan, and nothing wrong with it.
Hey, you got a jaywalking ticket when you first moved here, so you took the bus.
Yeah.
So, oh my God. And you still take the bus. Anyway, so that was happening on that side. So then I got ISIS.
Oh.
ISIS. There's another word for it. Dinesh or something like that. Daesh.
Oh,
Yeah, Daesh, that's the one.
Something like that.
I'm going to use Daesh. So they have now threatened Facebook and Twitter.
I saw that yesterday again on the news.
Yeah, so, you know.
Because they want to squash anybody that's
Yeah, so
pushing
Twitter's taken out. So, you know, they've announced that they're going to come after Twitter and Facebook, and because they're taking their sites off, right? Every time they bring a site up, and they're saying that, you know, they you know, you are not in our league. That's what. So ISIS is saying, Daesh is saying, you're not in our league, and we're going to take you down. So they have announced that they're going to come after the Twitter and the Facebook. So earlier this month, 125,000 ISIS accounts were deleted. 125,000. That was like mind-blowing to me.
And how's the FBI going to hack all those phones? Talk about backdoor and all those phones.
Yeah. 125,000 ISIS, and how's the FBI, CIA, whatever going to do that?
NSA and all.
And then so.
But then the former CIA director was on the news this week earlier. What's his last name? I forgot who he was. The guy in charge of the Air Force, named NSA.
Yeah.
He's saying he got a book out too.
Oh, the guy that just the guy that retired last year. Yeah,
Right.
I saw him on
Yeah.
60
And he
Minutes
says
ago.
he got an understanding about it. It's not an easy thing to do.
It is most definitely not. Well, what's interesting is that Facebook, 1.5 billion accounts
Wow.
have been reported over the duration with a B. That's a
Billion.
lot of accounts.
With a B.
With a B. So, I mean, it's just pretty incredible. So, anyway, the ISIS propaganda is going out. They're really going to be pounding on this and saying that they're going to take things down. What I found interesting is that Twitter has 100 employees doing nothing but managing accounts.
Wow.
Full-time employees. And Facebook keeps thousands of staff and terror specialists working on their systems to keep the terrorists out. I mean, think of where we've come with Facebook and Twitter and those kinds of things, and the jobs that have been created as a result of this social media.
That
thing.
That's our downside, though. You know, everybody's worried about Oscars and this and that, but nobody's worried about the social media. But terrorism, you're worried about Beyonce's anti-police stuff and.
Well, thinking of that. So speaking of that, so we do this segment. We got one tech job, right? So I got a shot. If this may be one tech job, and I don't know if this is someone from Daesh or ISIL or whatever trying to break into our network. But anyway, how'd you like this puppy? Got one tech job.
Well, that looked like a yuppie based on those shoes.
Only you would figure that out. Well, mind you, what you're in, the business that you're in, you would determine. So how old would you say this person is?
This guy's got to be at least mid-30s.
Mid-30s? Okay, mid-30s. About how tall?
At least 6'5".
6'5". Okay, 6'5", tall. I think you should
about 180.
About 180, okay. Boy, you're giving a lot of great info. Anyway, got one tech job, but the sad story is I think I've done this before. Been underneath those cables. Anyway, that is a tech job, but they're mostly not like that anymore. Anyway, so we're about to take a break. We got to go get Angus. We're gonna bring Angus up from the beach.
Man.
By the way, we think of our new beach. There you are, up there on the.
Wait,
You're the
I
Eddie
came
Aikau.
in fourth. That's why I didn't make the media. I didn't make the front page.
Yeah,
I didn't
you
get
came
the
in
check.
fourth, yeah.
John, he was awesome. He cut me off, this sucker.
Yeah, fourth in a parking lot.
Yeah. No parking.
No parking, yeah. Anyway, so we're going to go get Angus, bring him off the beach. We're going to pay some bills. We're going to bring McKay Davis on to talk about the Unconference. So we'll be back in a minute.
Hi, I'm Donna Blanchard. I'm the host of Center Stage here on Think Tech. This show is so very dear to my heart. We talk with artists of various different ilk here about the process that they go through for their art. So we talk about what they're doing, why they are doing it, how they do it. And it's a show that is inspiring. This is what I hear from people all the time. And a show that will teach you something, sometimes something about yourself. I hope you'll join us. The show is Center Stage. It's on Think Tech every Wednesday at 2 o'clock. We'll see you then.
Hi, I'm Ethan Allen, host of Likeable Science on Think Tech Hawaii. Come join us every Friday at 2 p.m. when I interview interesting scientists about what they do, why they do it, and why we should all care about it. It's a lot of fun to see. And you can learn interesting stuff. You'll hear all kinds of fascinating science, and we know you'll have a great time. Hope to see you then. Bye-bye.
Aloha, namaskar, and hello. My name is Anu Hittel, and I host the show called Climate Change Beyond Outrage. We go beyond outrage to find solutions to climate problems facing people, nations, and the world. I hope you will join me here every Tuesday at 1 o'clock. We broadcast live from thinktechhawaii.com. Aloha and bye-bye.
Okay, I'm Jay Fidel, that's Ray Starling. We co-host a show called Hawaii, the State of Clean Energy, every Wednesday, 4 to 5 p.m. It's really interesting. You know, Ray has a way of unzipping these guys. He asks them these questions and all this stuff tumbles out, and we find out stuff we would never know about without Ray's questions. Thank you, Ray.
You're welcome, Jay. I'm very pleased to be your Ed McMahon every Wednesday at 4 o'clock here on the internet. So you can join us and see what's happening in the energy world, and there is a lot going on. So join us every Wednesday at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, come around, be energized, right here on Think Tech. Aloha.
Hey, my buddy Angus, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing there, Papi Chulo? Good to see you, lad.
Hey, I saw you at the Eddie yesterday. How'd you do?
Oh, it was great. You could not see me on the surfboard because I didn't got any legs.
Oh, my goodness.
Cheapo Gordero would not buy me legs, but I was there. I was on my boogie board.
Oh, my God.
Mostly boogieing and little boarding, but that was what I was doing. Hey, Papi, I've been practicing my Hispanic.
Okay.
You ready for this? I got one for you.
What is it?
Dos cervezas, por favor. How's
Okay.
that?
All right, two more. One for me and you. How about the other guy?
Okay, buenos nachos. Not quite. Oh, anyway, that was I'm practicing, but we'll get ready there. 'Cause we're a multicultural show, Anyway, I got a wee story for you. I was walking down the street the other day. They had a sign in the window. It said "Free whiskey." It was awesome. Free whiskey. In small print, it said "with haircut."
Oh, my God. So
Oh.
since you don't have the hair, so
Yeah,
did
yeah.
you consider a Brazilian?
A what? A Brazilian? Are you kidding me?
If you
I don't
wanted-
even speak Spanish.
You could have got a shot of whiskey.
They said I'll go for a Brazilian. Anyway, I got a gadget. I cannot handle this anymore. Anyway, I got a gadget. It's a new electric car coming out. It's Rimax Electric Hypercar. It is a really, really cool car.
Wow.
How is that?
That looks beautiful.
Look out, Tesla. Here it comes.
Jesus.
And I know you're one high mucka mucka guy with your, the kind like
yeah.
that, what do you call that, Mercedes.
No.
Yeah, this is for you.
This is a chick magnet.
That's a chip magnet for you, and you need all the help you can get.
You want to work with me?
I'll work with you on that. I'll be your co-driver. I'll be right there in the back. Anyway, this little puppy's only $1 million.
Only?
Only $1 million.
Okay, no problem. Where do I sign?
Take it out of your pension plan. Anyway, that's my gadget of the week. I think I put something up that no one can afford, especially us. Anyway,
Wow.
thanks a lot, everybody. And Rick, I'll go get my Brazilian next week. And remember, everybody, I'm your weekday free wherever you be. Aloha!
All right, you take care, buddy. Hey, I want to introduce this new guy, a good friend of ours. I just met him. His name is McKay McKay Davis. Again, confusion, like Gordon Bruce Gordon. So, Gordon, help me. I don't know what this guy does.
I know.
What does he
Well,
do?
you're trying to figure out Unconference. Eddie McKay, nice to see you, man.
Hey, thanks for having me on the show.
Nice to have you on the show.
It's okay. It's a common to get them backwards.
Yeah.
I'm always filed backwards.
So how often does that happen, really? Like, you
Oh,
get-
really? About half the time.
But half the time. So I'm about the same.
Yeah.
It's just like, I get it all the time, half the time.
Yeah. Whenever I go up and sign up for like a conference or something like that, and they always get it backwards.
Yeah,
and say,
okay,
well,
I
just
see
look
why.
under M.
Yeah, well, we got two license plates, or two license numbers. Why don't you try that one?
Yeah,
Like
works
Jim
out.
McKay.
Anyway, so, we always like to get to know a little bit about our guests and so on, and what their backgrounds and so on.
Right.
So where did you go to school? Where did you grow up?
Well, I started school and as a wee young lad in elementary school, and I actually started doing computers in elementary school. And I went to one of the better computer science schools, East High School in Salt Lake City, Utah. And they were actually, number one in the state for a couple years running in the computer high school programming contest. And so that really kind of fostered my love for computers there. And then from East High School, I went to University of Utah. And after that, I came here to Hawaii.
So you went, so you grew up in Utah?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Oh, the mini bottle capital of the world.
Not anymore.
I know, I've
Yeah.
been back, but I remember. You ever been to Utah?
Yeah, I did, but isn't that the place that's getting 86 from that one bar that kicked out the locals? The Polynesian guys?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
what's the name of it? I forgot. It was on the news.
Whaley's, yeah, there's a lawsuit about that now.
Wow.
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, they kicked some polys out of a bar?
Yeah, so
That's-
they're
Yeah, they came
boycotting.
in. They came in and said, "I'm sorry, we can't serve you because you're Polynesian," and they cut it on video.
Not.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
But you know how many? And
yeah,
we're
how
not
many-
going to get into
how
how
many
many
Polynesians
Polynesians
go to
are
Utah?
go to
In
Utah,
Utah?
are part of BYU and all this stuff.
Utah's the number one state in the mainland for percentage of Polynesian population. Yeah. yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. See, I missed that one. But I remember when I used to go back, and I know we're going to get to the Unconference, don't worry
Yeah,
about
sure,
it.
no problem.
But I remember when I used to go back when it was the mini bottle capital of the world, and you had to be a member of the
Right.
the bar or something
Right.
to go in there and have a drink.
Right.
And I would just go in and say, I'll buy someone a drink.
And they said, "No, you got to bring it in."
Yeah, it doesn't work. Anyway, so you grew up in Utah.
Mhm.
By the way, I love Utah. Did you ski?
Oh yeah. Well, I started out skiing, but I switched to snowboarding because
okay.
the powder there is just so good.
It's so good.
And it's just so much easier to snowboard.
Park City? Where'd you go?
I usually ended up going to Snowbird, Powder Mountain.
Wow,
yeah.
nice. Did you ever ski, Mr. Trejo, sir?
On the back of a car driving down the city streets. Hey.
In Chicago?
In Chicago.
There's no.
Oh, I buy skis and you can borrow somebody's bumper
Yeah.
and just slide off your sneakers on the street in the snow.
What do they call that?
Skeechin. We call it skeechin.
Skeechin.
Skeechin, yeah.
Skeechin.
Literally, we call
It's called
it skeechin.
skeechin.
The guy driving by, you sneak between the parked cars, jump on the back of the bumper, hang on, the guy bangs, he sees you and he hit the brakes. I remember his pointed Cadillac fins. Oh, that hurt.
Oh, those big 1962s or 59s.
Yeah. Oh, he stopped me. I guess he didn't like nobody skeeching on the back of his bumper. So I wasn't focusing. When he hit the brake, the fin hit me right here in the chest, and those are the ends of my skeeching
That
days.
was
You're lucky that's all that happened.
Yeah, you're very lucky. I mean,
Oh.
I did that we did it in Canada too, but we never called it skeechin. I don't know what we called it. We just did it.
Yeah. It was fun, though.
So you've been in the IT business for a long time.
Yeah, I've been computer programming since I got my first full-time job in high school.
In high
actually.
school. So you're doing-
professional
you're
for over
doing-
20 years now.
you open source stuff like Ruby on Rails, all this other stuff.
My background is mostly computer graphics, so a lot of C, C++, OpenGL,
Okay.
scientific visualization. So the University of Utah was a premier school for computer graphics. A lot of the original computer graphics algorithms were developed there. Ed Catmull, the founder of Pixar, was actually a graduate of there.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Oh, I didn't know
yes,
that.
yes,
That's
yes.
pretty
They're top 5 in the nation, really. And so very heavy emphasis in scientific visualization. I worked for the Scientific Computing and Imaging Institute for a number of years.
We should hook you up. We had and it may or may not be related, but we had a GIS expert on one of our earlier shows, and she was big into the GIS side. And I've always kept saying, where would there be an overlap from what's happening in GIS and what's happening in the imaging and graphics?
Well, that's actually the job that brought me out to Hawaii. Was I was working on basically a Google Earth sort of clone.
Okay.
That was called McKay Voyager. It's for a small ocean engineering firm called McKay Ocean Engineering, which is in Waimanalo. And we basically developed 4D, 5D, which is kind of a weird way to put it, but the 5 dimensions are essentially the 3 dimensions, X, Y, Z in space, then plus time, and then multivariate. And we were able to visualize volumetric data sets that were geo-referenced on the globe from a space-to-face sort of situation.
Whoa, well, he's Papi Chulo's 5-dimensional, but it's in a whole different way.
Right.
Yeah, his dimensions.
He warps space-time.
Maybe it's just dimension. Or that's dementia. That's me.
Yeah.
Wait, okay. So anyway, so now you've been in Hawaii for how long?
9 years now.
Oh, so
yeah,
you
I came out with the goal of let's see what 2 years gives us, and
Okay.
my wife and I, we had a kid here, and we bought a house, and we have another kid, so we're here to stay.
Yeah, you can't beat raising your kids here.
Yeah.
You cannot. It's the best.
Yeah.
I mean, Rick, you moved here from Chicago. What year?
He wasn't born yet.
Yeah, well, that's true.
42 years ago.
Yeah. So and we just cannot leave. Once you get
I love it. I love everything about Hawaii.
Yeah.
Everything.
My kids don't know what they have. They wake up in the morning and they complain that it's cold.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. You don't
Well,
know.
Rick could bring him to Chicago for a short visit.
Yeah,
We'll
that's
see
what
how
I
that
tell
would
them. That's
change
what I
their
tell them. It's
attitude.
like,
And then we'll bop up to balmy Toronto, to make the temperature drop, 3 degrees, or go up 5 degrees. Anyway, something like that. So tell us a little bit now about the. We'll just get started on this on the Unconference. So, what's an Unconference?
Exactly. You said
So
that.
this is the 9th annual Unconference.
Okay.
And an Unconference is a very unstructured conference
Okay.
where there is a number of topics that are kind of basically discussed beforehand. And then they are brought up the day of, people show up for the Unconference, and the topics are voted. And you can actually even show up with a new topic day of. And then there's basically a big grid system where at the beginning of the conference, all the topics are put down on a board. Everybody comes and they vote on the topics that they want to talk about. And then there's kind of this magical mystery of trying to organize the topics so that we're not overlapping too many different things. And so this year we have 4 tracks and 5 sessions.
Okay, so the tracks, I was leading up to that, because topics could be like global. So, so you pick specific tracks that the topics then are related to.
Yes, generally Unconference locally has been more of a grassroots tech sort of vibe to it, I'd say. And then this year we're also pairing with Code for Hawaii to also throw a hackathon as well. So there's actually 2 coinciding events with Unconference this year. So Unconference is on March 5th, which is International Open Data Day. And then International Open Data Day is also coinciding with Code for America's Code Across hackathon.
Okay, so let's hold the Code for America one on one piece, because I want to make sure that
that will be a
everybody's...
track. So there's the Code for America, Code for Hawaii track.
Okay.
And then there's the Unconference, which is the more kind of loosely structured.
Now, so when you say topics, give me an example of the kind of topics that would, that those that would show up would bring up as things they'd like to be addressed.
Well, I'll give you some topics that have been brought up in the past.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so a couple of years ago, co-working spaces were very big. And there was no co-working spaces that were existent in Hawaii at that point. And so this was really kind of the impetus for the discussions that started the Box Jelly.
The Box Jelly, where you
the
can
greenhouse,
where different people can come together and work. Box Jelly, which is in Chinatown.
It's in Kaka'ako.
Kaka'ako, and then Greenhouse is in.
It was in Kaka'ako too. They're shut down.
They're
now.
both. Oh, they're shut down now.
Yeah.
Now, didn't they open up a co-workspace in Chinatown somewhere?
Yes, that's called The Rock.
Oh,
yes.
The Rock. Okay,
yes.
so there's that
Which
one.
kind of came more recently. Yes.
Okay, so more recently.
Yes.
So so if someone is in, does it have to be tech?
No, it doesn't have to be tech. It can be anything. It can be really any topic, as long as there's enough of a quorum, basically, to discuss that. So there's been talks on. I mean, this is kind of tech oriented. There's been talks on drones. We had a session on Bitcoin a little while back. Economic development within the city.
Okay.
So this year's Unconference is actually being sponsored by the City and County of Honolulu.
Okay.
And so it's going to be very civic engagement oriented this year.
So I think, and I apologize for not remembering, because I was involved in the earlier Unconferences, actually the first one, and I think the city helped sponsor that one, and then, like you said, kind of kept itself going, right? It's got the grassroots support and so on. So let's kind of hold that spot, because we're going to take a break and pay a bill.
Okay.
And then come back and let's talk about the Code for America, Code for Hawaii, and how they're all related and how people might want to get involved in what's going on with this upcoming event. So anyway, we're going to be back in about a minute. We've got to pay some bills, and thank you for joining us here in Hibachi Talk.
Aloha, this is Reg Baker, and I am the host of Business in Hawaii. We talk about positive stories of businesses in Hawaii, how they have been successful, and how they have overcome some of the obstacles that a lot of us encounter when we try to have a business here. And believe it or not, there are a number of positive stories here, and we want to talk to all of you. So we broadcast live every Thursday at 2 o'clock, and it rebroadcasts again on Olelo Channel 54. So I sure hope to see you next time. Please tune in on Thursdays at 2 o'clock. Thank you.
Aloha, I'm Kaui Lucas, host of Hawaii is My Mainland, here on Think Tech Hawaii every Friday at 3 p.m. We address issues of importance for those of us who live here on the most isolated landmass on the planet. Please come join me Fridays at 3 p.m. Mahalo.
Aloha, how you doing? And welcome to Hibachi Talk. Gordon the Techstar here with my good old buddy, Papi Chulo. How you doing, man? And our guest, McKay Davis. He's here talking about the Unconference that's coming up on March the 5th.
Saturday,
March the 5th. You've got to really look at attending one of these. Isn't, and I'll give you, you correct me if I'm wrong, I'm going to give you my kind of synopsis on it. It's a way that, thank you for sending me this, by the way. There's the Unconference banner.
Yeah.
Just came up. And so it's a way that you can contribute back to the community, provide government and or just the citizen with access to technologies that can help them in their day-to-day lives, or even non-technology. You know, some of the things, and I'm not sure if this came out of the Unconference, but some things that come to my mind are like the bus app, which I think came out of a hackathon.
They did, yes.
And then there was the tsunami evacuation zone. I think that was a hackathon too. I can't remember.
I think there's Adopt a Siren.
Adopt a Siren. So there were a number of those. So all of those, and those were applications that were developed, mobile apps that were developed with not using taxpayer money. It was done by the citizens getting involved. It was going in. Ask Honolulu. No, Ask Honolulu I think may have been Unconference.
Ask Honolulu was done by the fellows that came.
Code for America.
Yes.
So good. So this is where we're coming back to. So tell us a little bit about Code for America. So or Code for Hawaii, which you're very much involved with.
Well, I'll start with Code for America. Code for America is a national nonprofit organization that was started in 2010 by Jennifer Polka. And it's basically technology by the citizens and for the citizens, where they engage with government stakeholders to really try to improve access to the citizenry. And a lot of it is volunteer work, but a lot of that actually develops into real applications that really affect people's lives. And they've done a lot of great things nationwide, and it really, a lot of the impetus and the beginnings of it were here in Honolulu as well.
Right.
And so Code for Hawaii is the local brigade, which is now an official brigade as of this last year. That is the Code for America brigade, and we meet 3 times monthly at the Box Jelly.
Okay.
And we get together and we work on technology applications to improve local access.
So are there any particular apps that have come out of that in the recent past that come to mind?
We've got a couple in the works,
Okay.
but we do have one that was actually developed a couple years ago that the Department of Health recently contacted us about. They just wanted some advice on some design, really, for their high five redemption application. So the Department of Health actually gives out the permitting for the high five, where you take your bottles in, you get 5 cents back per bottle. And this app will show you where your nearest redemption center is.
Oh, because they're closing some of them down.
Yeah,
so
they have a lot closing down, and so they want to keep that list up to date. And they actually had an application that was not the greatest, and it was really kind of heavyweight for mobile. And one of our developers, Code for Hawaii developers, who's been around for quite a while now, George Lee, actually had developed an app a couple years ago that was mobile first and did exactly what they needed.
So, and again, no taxpayer dollars.
No taxpayer
It was
dollars.
done by the citizen, for the citizen. Can't beat this stuff. And we talk about this, I've talked about this a lot, is that, people your age, not your age, people your age, need
And
to
even
get,
younger.
And even younger, need to get more involved in what's going on in the communities. And we're finding a lot of that happening, and technology is providing a way for them to do that. So the brigade. So the brigade. Now, Forrest Frizzell was a guest on our show way back when. Forrest Frizzell was the guy that brought Code for America here, because he was the deputy director of IT when I was there, and he came to the city with this idea of bringing in the fellows. And they did some great stuff when they were here during that time frame, and enabled us to move forward to where we're happening on these things here. So now. So the brigade became official last year?
Yeah, well, with the administrations changing.
Oh, yes, tell me about it.
Yes. Code for Hawaii kind of went through a period of inactivity.
Okay.
Bert Lum kind of helped keep it, the open data concept alive and whatnot, but at least the regular meetings weren't there. And so this last year, the brigade was revamped, and we are meeting 3 times a month now, and then also pairing now with Unconference to hold the Code Across Hackathon at Unconference.
So you got, how many people are going to be, do you think are going to be at the Unconference? How many are going to be there, and where's it going to be at?
We're aiming for 200 people. We have we have over 100 signed up right now.
Wow.
And it will be at the Blaisdell Center at the Hawaii Suites. It is free.
Right, it's free.
But please register on Eventbrite or unconference.com so we can get a good idea of how many people are going to be there.
And free 99 is Angus's favorite price, so you can't beat that one.
Yep.
So, and you're gonna, so I like what's happened with and I'm just learning this now from what you're telling me. With the Unconference getting together with the Code for Hawaii group, you still got ties to Code for America.
Yes,
so,
strong ties. Yes.
Strong ties. Is there any chance that Code for America is going to come back again?
I think,
nice.
yeah, it would be nice. It would be nice. That would, we have to find a good champion to really make that happen within the city or the state.
Yeah, so, and speaking of, so a champion within the city and the state, so there's some interesting things that you were telling me when we were on the break. So who are some of the key people that are going to be at the Unconference that you think would be worthwhile for people to be there?
Right, right. So at the Unconference, we're going to have a little bit of the opening, and then we'll have a panel where we're going to get some government stakeholders like Todd Nakapui, who is the state CIO, Chief Innovation Officer, Mark Wong, who is the City and County of Honolulu's CIO, and then also Stacy Aldrich, who is the state librarian, will be there, and a couple other invited guests as well, where they're going to give a reverse pitch. And the reverse pitch is they discuss what they need within the government, at least technology-wise, that they're not really able to address using their resources. And people in the crowd are going to, give some feedback and say, hey, I might be able to help with that. And so we're going to invite people to then participate in a hackathon and try to start a prototype on some sort of project.
So one of the things that I've had, and I'm going to try and make it to this one because I like throwing grenades at. I used to sit in one of those seats, so I can do that, right?
Yeah, you used to, yeah.
So, and one of the arguments that I had is that anytime we tried to do something, the government would not make the data available. It's like they wouldn't make it available. You gotta love this one, Rick, and you'd love this one too. We wanted to show where all the art was. We had someone with the hackathon who said, we're gonna put an app together. When a tourist comes in, they can go art in Hawaii, and they can go and look at all the art and where it's located around Hawaii, because there's art everywhere. I mean, there's statues, all kinds of things and so on. The city was very willing and gave their data. So they could. The state was unwilling to give the data, and I was my argument was like, why are you? Why? Well, then people might vandalize it.
Right.
Well, okay, I'm missing the whole concept here, but anyway, that was the mindset behind it all. So what do you, have you run into this now? How open is government to making the data available?
That depends on the individual.
Okay.
And
the individual being the mayor, or the individual being the head of that agency?
I'm
putting you on the spot.
Not even the head of the agency, the
Okay.
individual at the level of controlling and using the data. So a lot of times it's the city worker or the state worker who is actually the person who utilizes that data.
Right.
They tend to kind of want to hold on to it.
So they want to hold on to it. So so this is my point. It's like, so you want to do something, and you've got someone that's in there, some HGA employee who says, well, this is my data, and it's not, because it's ours, and they don't make it available. And I'm going to give you another example that drove me crazy. So when the bus app, which is being developed, the bus would not give us access to the bus schedules.
Right.
Real time, because they have it all online. And they have all the buses on GPS, and you could track where the buses are.
Right.
And they said we couldn't have it. Now, you ready for this? Why couldn't we get that data?
Why?
Buses weren't always on time.
And they don't want to admit it.
Duh.
Right.
I mean,
That's
no
the
way.
That's the purpose.
That's
That's why we want it. It's okay if it's not on time if we know when they're going to be there.
If we're going to be there. So what we did, and then, but the key was asking the next question. Well, how much on time are you? Oh, we're the highest in the nation at 97%. I went, okay, wait a minute. There's a story here, and you're squashing it for 3% that you ain't going to make anyway because of all the things that happen, traffic accidents and stuff like this. So you've got a great story.
And that app is now so successful that the city runs that app.
That's right. But it took that kind of leverage and pressure to have them open it up, so that now I can go and say, oh, my bus is going to be 5 minutes late. Oh, if that's late, I can take the other one over here. So it's getting that message. So again, I'm going to put you on the spot. How do we get the simple servants or civil servants or whatever to free up that data?
And that's the whole purpose of this conference. That's not the whole purpose, but that's the purpose of one of the major topics is how do we get and start engaging in these discussions and have people realize that some of the steps that they're taking now are causing problems down the line. There's a lot of open data in the government. It's locked up in PDF files.
Yep.
And PDF files are, honestly, they're awful.
They're notorious. You cannot do anything with them.
Right. They're very difficult to scrape.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of times there's been data out there that's been in a PDF file, and I've contacted like Department of Transportation saying, hey, can you give me the Excel spreadsheet? And they say, oh, well, we don't have that.
Yeah.
And obviously they do it because it's an Excel spreadsheet in a PDF file.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's starting these dialogues, and hopefully, things change slowly, and we realize that. And we don't ask for everything to be open all at once, and so we're trying to kind of focus our efforts on, the low-hanging fruit.
Right, and like you said, like it's a PDF file, but an Excel spreadsheet or a Word document or some other open format document is available to create that PDF file. Why can't you make that available to us?
Exactly.
And I tell you, one of the ones, and this is why I kind of like get me all excited about this event, is I'm just as upfront, I'm a pro-rail guy. But you know what I'd like? I'd like to get all of that financial data that's going on in all the construction projects, make all of that available, and if someone has a particular area that they're interested in, where they can start drilling down and pulling out information about that financial data related to what's going on with the rail project.
And you're not the only person that wants to see that.
And that's and I can tell you right now, and I will be on the record because I was there when the city put in the financial system that they're running on now. That data is available. Now, here's the challenge: is that they're going to say, well, if we make that data available, that means city council's going to see it. City council's going to start lobbing back to the employee or whatever. Then the mayor's got to deal with it. So you got all this combination.
We have all these questions about everything.
Yeah, all these questions. Everybody's wondering about what the counter position is going to be on all of that data. But that data is available. So if anyone says, you're sitting watching council meetings and says, oh, that data's not available, not true. Not true. There's over 700 different reports come out of the financial system in the city. 700 in non-PDF format that you can take that stuff and massage it. Anyway, we're kind of getting close, so get some of your messages across here about what's happening.
One last thing I just want to say is that Code for Hawaii, we're kind of tech-oriented, but everybody is invited. Anybody who has an interest just improving in Hawaii, and even learning some tech. I mean, we've got some great seasoned technologists there, and everybody is there, and it's a very cooperative environment, and everybody's there to help each other. So please come down to codeforhawaii.org and just check out our stuff. Please come down to Unconference on March 5th.
So, and do you get I know some of the events, HPD showed up, fire department showed up. We actually had government employees coming up and contributing to part of what was going on at the events.
Yeah, we're starting to see that.
That's going to be awesome. So,
and we're just getting momentum.
We're just getting mentioned. So it's March 5th, Neil Blaisdell.
Yes, Hawaii Suites.
Hawaii Suites. I mean, we got over 100 people showing up now. I will tell you, based on the ones that I have gone to, and I honestly haven't gone to them all, there are a lot of people that go that are not technical. They just have ideas.
Yes.
And they're just ready to do ideas.
And we want you there to put your voice into.
Put your voice in.
Yes.
So anyway, as we always do with our guests, we have a gift that we give. Now, this one is going to be very unique. This is number 56. We give every guest a solo cup.
Awesome.
But this is the first one, so hold on to this, Jim, that's signed by Papi Chulo.
Oh, first edition.
It's first edition Papi Chulo cup. So this one, this could be like, the little things that we're selling at McDonald's. This one day could be worth like a ton of.
Just like Beanie Babies.
Bitcoins. Yeah, Beanie Baby. They can be worth a ton of Bitcoins.
Okay.
And we can have you on the show one day to talk about
I'd love
Bitcoins,
to talk
because
about
you were
that.
involved at the beginning,
Yes.
which, by the way, is trading at about $427. I tell everybody I'm going to give everybody a heads up on what's happening on it.
Okay.
Anyway, we have burned through 45 minutes.
Already, wow.
Papi Chulo, it's been great having you in the house.
Look forward to the next one.
Remember, don't wear green. Anyway, and then McKay?
Irish
for having
over
me.
here on St. Patrick's Day.
No, you're Irish, yeah. Papi McChulo. Anyway.
I saw something on Facebook said something of McRibs. It says something for the boxes of. Oh, I don't even want to say it on TV.
Okay, never mind. See, I told you, we got to keep you under control.
Yeah.
Anyway, we want to thank everybody for joining us here on Hibachi Talk. Once again, it's been just a pleasure. Zuri, Nick, it's terrific. Jay, thanks for the opportunity. And remember, everybody, like my brothers always say, how you doing?